Smack that ass.
Well, on that note, welcome back to another episode of AK-47 Radio, bringing you all the good things, which is very few, about that long-lost country, including tonight, no space program, because Cosmonaut General is gone. He's launched into space. He's out of here. He's on his way to the moon. So next time you hear from him, he's going to bring back a moon rock. Or he's going to, like, Apollo Soyuz 13 into the dirt.
No, if you're a ham out there, whether a sad ham or a not sad ham, just tune in to the ISS. He'll be talking to you.
Yes, that's a guarantee. We put our rubber stamp on that one. But as you heard, we do have the commissar. He is here, and recently demoted from janitor to apparently jester.
Okay, I said that was a pro. You at least get to be in court while court is in session. The janitor has to wait till court is over to come.
That's when all the real machinations happen, sir.
Indubitably.
So, fun fact: government issue lemonade is better, somehow still better than sugar-free liquid IV.
This should not surprise you.
It does a little bit. It only slightly tastes like lemonade. The rest of it tastes somewhat like coyote piss.
Well, you have to mix it in the right proportions. They say use 8 ounces of water.
Oh,
it's more like 4.
This called for 20.
Oh, yeah. So it would be like 8 ounces.
It was a big one.
Yeah.
So how are you doing tonight?
I'm here, man. And you know what? I'm happy to be here. There's nowhere else I would rather be right now. And I'm not even kidding.
Okay. I'm not sure how to actually take that. That's a little too significant. A little too... Nope. I don't like it at all. I hate that. In fact, that's how I'm doing tonight. Thanks to you, I now hate this.
You've always hated me. Also, are you wearing a surplus undershirt? Because that looks exactly like some of the shirts I have.
Yes.
Half
of my wardrobe is surplus, and all of that, most of it came from Goodwill, actually.
The one that you're wearing, if I'm correct, is a fire retardant shirt. And
that's why I like it, because it has
they're also extremely comfortable after they get washed a few times. They're probably not fire retardant after 2 or 3 washes, but they're very thin and they're very comfortable.
No arguments with that. It's been a good base layer.
Duh.
So
what have you done to
wait a minute, that's my question.
No. I'm taking that over tonight. What have you done to advance the party's interest?
Nope. I don't like this at all.
Too bad.
I feel like Khrushchev getting deposed. This is not cool. This is not what we agreed on, fellas. Plant the cord. It'll be fine.
We didn't agree to shit. All we agreed to was to do a podcast. Otherwise, it's all free range.
Yeah, but the rest of it was in the contract you didn't read.
That I also didn't sign. What's your point? What did you do to advance the party's interests?
Well, because I signed it for you.
You just admitted to what's the fucking word? God damn it. Forgery. You just admitted to forgery on the internet.
That's fine. I've admitted to worse things on the internet.
Valid.
I picked up my I don't know if this so you know when you buy a new gun, or anybody who tries to review guns buys a new gun and then they have to speed run it up to 1,000 rounds as fast as possible sometimes?
Yes, because it's new and it's fun.
The gastrointestinal version of that is what I did with the MRE oven that I picked up from you over the weekend. I believe that was Saturday.
It was.
I've cooked 6 MREs in this thing since Saturday.
I did I cooked 2 in one night just because I was enjoying it that much.
I did that back to back.
Last night was the first time I put an entree and a side in at the same time.
Oh,
yeah.
We're going somewhere. I would like to point out that we bought these with our own money. So don't go out there and think we are shilling for these pouches
Hey,
because
hey,
we're
hey,
paid.
hey. If MRE Oven wants to sponsor us, I will take their money and their products.
Oh, all day long. This is the strangest thing I did not know I needed in my life until I had it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I told you, I said it multiple times in our group chat. It's fucking amazing.
I mean, I can't deny you there. I don't remember what the first MRE I cooked it was on Saturday. I was supposed to write that down, but it was a 10-year-old, or no, was it the chicken noodle one? Or was that the second one? Doesn't
You
matter.
had you had two that you said the heaters weren't going well in.
I had two of them that were from a case I had bought last year off of a guy who was getting rid of three, and he was selling them last year for $50 a piece, which that's when MRE cases were $90 a piece. So I was like,
Mm.
oh, steal. And two of them had inspection dates for 2025. One of them's inspection date was 2022. So I think it was made in 2018. Both of those heaters were very sluggish. The first one I threw in there, like it trapped a little bit of warmth, but I mostly ate that one cold. Whatever
Mm.
flavor that was, I don't quite remember off the top of my head now. Uh, I'm trying to scroll through my notes and I'm not seeing it. So never mind.
Twas MRE. I could go
Well,
back
okay,
through
the
our
first one
chat,
was
but
chicken noodles and vegetables,
mm.
which is one of my favorites, except for when it's 10 years old, some of the flavor starts to get a little funky. Not funky, just like degrades in
Mm.
quality. So that wasn't very good. Doesn't help it was very lukewarm. But it got it kind of lukewarm. I ate it. I was like, all right, well, that was neat. And then later on in the night, I decided, I really want to get one nice and really toasty in there. So I started looking at the other MRE I had downstairs, which I'm pretty sure was out of the same box. I looked at it for just a little bit longer, and then a little bit longer.
Mhm.
And then next thing I know, meatball marinara was in there,
Mm.
which was meatballs, garlic, potatoes, cookie, cheese, Italian breadsticks, and a beef stick, which the beef sticks are
Mm.
terrible.
The beef sticks are god awful, and so are the Italian breadsticks.
I can muscle my way through the Italian breadsticks if they have cheese. The meat, the freaking teriyaki beef stick, the flavor is not great. The texture is somehow like a dry Vienna sausage.
Yeah, it's not quite beef jerky texture.
It's soft.
That's actually the best way I've ever heard it described. It's god awful. The flavor sucks. The texture's worse. God. Ugh.
So that one's FRH. I think that one's FRH started off worse, and then 15 minutes later took off.
Mm.
So I was able to get both of those warmed up. Not too bad. And then the following day, I ate two newer MREs. They don't matter, but both of those had freaking like rocket ship
Mm.
FRHs, and it definitely got the temperature of my good precious baby MREs to have to blow on spoon temperatures,
Yes,
which is very nice.
it
And then the
is.
following day, I ate chili. For on Monday yesterday, I had chili for lunch, and yeah, that was rocking. I like
That's
the chili MRE.
like I never would have imagined taking the thing you put in your windshield to try to keep some of the sunlight from making your car hot, cutting it into a small piece and then sewing it together and then sewing multicam around it and calling it an oven. I never would have thought of that in my life, but that's exactly what it is, and it's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
That's
And
like the guy.
then you put a little patch of Velcro on the front because, of course, we have to stick patches to everything. So I
Duh,
stuck my muted Polish flag patch to it, and now this is my Polish snack pack.
duh. No, it's fucking amazing. I actually am probably going to not anytime soon, which we'll get to why soon, but I will probably end up buying one of their Arctic kits that has like
With a battery
electronic
powered.
heaters inside of it and you plug a battery pack into it because I want to see how raging that can get.
Meanwhile, also this thing's getting so hot, even on the outside of the pouch. So I'm like, this is just drone bait right now.
Duh.
Like thermal drone, throw, boom. There goes my
Yes.
lunch. So no, I've thoroughly enjoyed using that. And then the other one was just a vegetable lasagna with a FRH that was pulled out of the frickin' tuna one had an FRH in it for some damn reason.
That's interesting. You also did the maple sausage or
Oh,
pork or whatever.
that's fucking delicious. Maple
Yeah,
sausage patty.
you raved about it, and so I have a couple. I tried one last night. That is on the bottom half for sure
Well, we'll
of
work out a
my
with next cases, we'll
MREs.
work out a trade then because that one was like, oh, mm, oh yeah,
Absolutely. Next case for me is a case B. So
I need to get case B too, but
I try to hop back and forth between A and B.
that's
Sometimes
fair.
I don't remember, so I just grab whatever's on top at the surplus store.
That's fair. Um, so no, I've been thoroughly enjoying that last couple of days, and my digestive system is doing okay, barely, but we're hanging in there. What about you? Do anything
Uh,
fun before we get into what's hanging on the wall behind me and what you're currently moving around your lap at rapid speeds?
Well, first, Dusky says he was watching Perfect
That's
Strangers,
Dr.
but he
Scary
guess
Guy.
he can. Sorry, you're right. I apologize, Dr. Scary Guy, for calling you Dusky's name. That's an insult. Um, we are the perfect strangers, mostly because we're just perfect and we don't know you. Yeah, I did a few things to advance the party. So I went to the surplus store and bought a case of MREs as well. I
How
try to
many
do
cases
that.
are you up to now?
I've bought 3 so far. I
Well, we're
try to
shooting
buy
equal amounts then.
I try to buy one every week or every other week, so every paycheck basically. That's the goal. But I've also been eating a lot of MREs lately. Long story.
I like how these have become. I was thinking that while I was. We should have just renamed it. This is the MRE radio show.
I mean, we tried to rename it to something besides AK-47 radio, but we couldn't. But that's some more lore for the longtime listeners. I did. So when you came over to grab your MRE oven, you also brought me some goodies. I got 6 cut 320 mags. So they're limited to 10 rounds, but
That way it can only shoot you 10 times.
I will, yes. It won't shoot me any because it doesn't get ammo in the pipe until it's at the range, which I still need to take the M18 out to the range. But anyway, I got 6 of those that I got to uncuck, but that will be a fun, manly, hands-on with power tools project. And I also got Gideon 1 to 10 LPVO, which
34
fun story.
millimeter, baby.
Da. So thank you for those things and fun story, because you probably tossed the throw lever into the garbage.
Yep.
And I would like to at least experiment with the throw lever because I don't really have a lot of experience with LPVOs. That's mostly a red dot guy.
That's fair. I found the throw levers, the screw into the optic ones, to be a weak point.
And I don't like that. I don't like that it screws in, but I'm also not gonna poo-poo on free LPVO. So what I did,
the rest of the optic's fine. It's just that particular, like, oh, we're gonna screw it in. Same with the Swamp Fox ones I have. Like, it's hanging in there still, but I know if I clack it on a rock, the throw lever is gonna go. So it's like, man, whatever. I'm not gonna screw it in.
So what I did as an experiment, and I was really hoping Bob would be here tonight. I reached out using my non-YouTube, non-social media, like personal email address that I use to order everything. I don't ever want to reach out to a company being like, oh, I'm an influencer, so you should give me preferential treatment. I will never do that. So I will always use my personal email. And I just reached out and said, hey, where can I get, or how can I get a replacement throw lever? I just got gifted a new optic. And kudos as fuck to Gideon. because I reached out late at night on a Saturday and got an email back within less than an hour. And it was okay. Here's the link to go order the part. It was $10 and free shipping. Okay, whatever. Don't give a shit. That's fucking dope that I even got a response that quickly. I normally have to wait like a week for a response for customer service if I get one at all.
Yeah.
But then I was like, oh, okay, cool. I'll go order one. And then I got another response on Sunday.
Like life.
Awesome. Glad. I don't know if it was Bob or not, but either way, I conducted an experiment, which is what I try to do with companies to see how good the customer service was. I don't care that I had to pay for the part. That's fucking awesome. I got quick, reliable, good responses and quick shipping. It's in the mail right now. So, Bob, if you listen to this or watch this later, sir, my hat is off to you because your company has fantastic customer service, and that is arguably one of the most important things in this industry.
If I was Mike, I'd point out that you didn't actually take your hat off.
Because my headphones are over it and because my hair is a mess.
Mm-hmm.
But at least I don't have a receding hairline. So,
ooh. I mean, I'm sorry, your testosterone levels are low.
Okay.
Hey, it could be worse. You see, some of us are just going to go bald like men. And then there are other far more prominent YouTubers out there who have hair stolen from the sides of their heads to plug into the top because they can't just get over the fact that they're going bald.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't have either of those problems, but
you do have other problems.
I do have other problems because it's
are we going to talk about the thing right now?
Yeah.
Okay, because I would just like to point out that if any of you out there work for whatever company makes Viagra, he is not going to be a good test subject for you right now because this man has a perpetual boner, and he will have a perpetual boner for at least the next 3 months.
I mean, and that has I've had a perpetual boner since I was like 14, but
well, now it's even worse.
Yeah, I'm probably not a good case study. You're right.
Before it was awkward, now it's just shameful.
For the one viewer out there, if you're listening, I'll try to describe it, but if I don't describe it well, I apologize. I did a thing. So I got my tax refund in air quotes that basically the government was like, oh, we stole too much of your money. Here's some of it back, but not all of it. And with that amount of large lump sum money, I bought
not an AK.
Not an AK. You are correct.
But an acceptable substitute.
In fact, I mean, this is Cold War.
That's post-Cold War. Interesting. Well, actually, no, I believe the development
like 1990-ish.
Well,
so
I believe off the
so the reason the P90 was developed was I got a PS90. We'll get into it. The reason the PS90 was developed was to replace a 9mm sidearm.
Sorry, PlayStation 90. It's the year 2100 that PlayStation 90 is coming out. Sorry.
The reason the PS90 or P90 originally was developed was to replace a 9mm sidearm for troops in Europe in case Russia or the Soviet Union at the time dropped paratroopers. They wanted something that could defeat Soviet body armor of that era at 200 meters that they could give to people that weren't frontline troops. So instead of carrying a pistol, you would carry this little PDW thing that could still, with military ammo, which we can't get, sadly, could still go through their body armor. So that is very much Cold War and very much applicable to our show. But yes, I got PS90.
Can you talk for like 30 seconds while I grab something that is relevant to what you're holding?
At least 30 seconds? Absolutely. So...
right. If you get bored, just describe the size of the boner.
Oh, yeah. So I was almost not going to show this off tonight, but I feel like anybody watching or listening might enjoy going along with the journey of getting it what I consider camera ready. Camera ready being I'm going to SBR it, so barrel will be shorter. It will have a can. It will replace this stupid ass top pick rail thing with a dot. I did throw a couple of side pick rails on it, one for a light, one for a laser. Those also have QDs in them that I won't use. I threw two QDs on, one for the front and one on the back for a 2-point sling, but I don't have the sling yet. So tying back into a previous episode, we talked about for SHOT Show. Yes. So this go through that.
So what I'm wearing is actually this is a more World War II era helmet, not the not out of the 70s or the 80s. Oh, I forget the number off the top of it. What I have lying around that I can't find because it's not in the bin it's supposed to be in, so it means it's in another bin, is it's a replica of the body armor that doesn't have any plates in it. It's just like the vest, but but it's a replica of the body armor vest. Not B62. 6B2. There we go.
God, are you done having a seizure?
No, it's as bad as NSN numbers. You just can't figure out. But no, essentially that was designed. One of the things brought up for the design of that was that 6B2 armor, which it looks like just a giant green apron, and on the inside of the authentic ones are a bunch of overlapping back then in the late 80s titanium plates.
It's almost like the tile version of dragon scale or dragon skin armor.
Titanium.
Like big titanium plates. But yeah, so it's going to get a lot of overhaul. Tying back, so what I was saying, tying back into one of our SHOT Show episodes, I brought up Sunshine Safety and their really cool quick deploy slings. I bought a 2-point sling to go on this, but my primary objective with the P90 is to do what would a modern SG team member look like. And for those who don't know, SG Stargate, the arguably one of the best sci-fi shows ever, Stargate SG-1. What would a modern SG team member look like going through the gate? So I'm going to do like multicam. The M18 is going to be a part of it. But it's still going to have a P90 with relatively classic looks. I'm going to have the patches and everything. I think it's going to be pretty dope. And I'm excited, and I really don't give a shit what anybody else thinks. And so some of the mods I did, like I said, I already talked about the side rails and a couple of the QDs. I also replaced, for those who are watching, the charging handle with an extended, wider charging handle. And it doesn't look like much, but when you compare it to the stock charging handle, like it's massive in terms of the stock ones. A buddy of ours,
really, really chunky.
But the stock ones, a buddy of ours has one, and I've played with it, and I actually went to go charge it once, and my fingy slipped off of the charging handle as I was trying to charge it because there's just not enough surface area. Plus, with a modern grip on this thing, for those who are watching, it's got a section. Actually, let's do this. I'm going to be that guy. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Fuck. I have to click around to all the different goddamn things. There we go. So it's got a section on the side of it that is textured. So with a modern grip, instead of putting your thumb through the thumb hole stock, you put your thumb on the front of it, more like a C-clamp-ish style.
Like a little gas pedal.
Yeah, but it's textured and it's meant for that.
No.
Now you fix it where you're back on the screen or you don't get to exist anymore. Well, there it is. Dramatic. Well, I mean, it's not really. Take a look at our group chat. It's not dramatic at all.
What I was going to bring up is quick picture of the body armor. So,
Oh yeah.
plates. So the picture is off of just if you Google Soviet titanium ceramic body armor, they'll bring up pictures of the plates. So down here along the bottom, these real thin titanium guys.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that was originally designed to punch through, because those are fragmenting. That's fragmenting armor only. Then by the 90s, which frankly by the time the PS90 was ready to ship, they had moved on to thicker steel, and then they bumped up again to ceramic. So it's kind of funny that by the time that thing was ready to cook, the threat had moved on. Also, the fact that the Cold War had ended and we're in the 90s, so the chances of VDV paratroopers dropping behind your lines, which is if there are Soviet paratroopers falling on top of your rear echelon, you've got big problems.
That is true, but at least if I'm the fucking unit cook.
Oh, I'd rather have that than a fucking Beretta.
Yeah, absolutely. Number one. Two,
Just a
you're
field
not
corps.
you're not wearing body armor everywhere. You're only wearing it on your chest, and your helmet's not going to stop that shit, most likely at that time. But the actual solicitation, the NATO solicitation, came out before the wall fell and before the Soviet Union crumbled. So yeah, it took FN and HK some time with the MP7, which so the P90 is probably my second all-time grail gun, and the MP7 is 1,000,000,000% my all-time grail gun. What I need is I need two options. I either need preferably, well, I'll go with the second best option first. I need SP7 released by HK and somebody to make an FRT for the SP7, which I've already bought an FRT for this thing. I just haven't gotten it yet because it was a pre-order. I need that, SBR it, do the whole nine. Or better option, I need the NFA to completely go the fuck away, and I need actual MP7. Either of those two things happen, I can be a happy man.
That's fair.
And for those who haven't looked into the P90 or don't know, if you see, this is the magazine. It go on top of gun, but if you notice, bullets point towards side.
It's a Pez dispenser.
Yes. And then the magazine actually rotates them 90 degrees so that they feed in line with the barrel.
Every magazine's a Pez dispenser, come to think of it.
Yes, but that 50 rounds, no last round bolt hold open, but they do make a mag coupler for this thing. So you can couple two mags together and have another mag laying on top that you basically would rest your cheek on. So you could wake up in the middle of the night with a home invader naked, grab this gun with a short barrel and a can on it, and have 100 rounds on the gun.
There's going to be so many fucking holes in your house.
Not if you use proper tactics, but still, I like options, and more bullets means more options.
Oh, I don't disagree. That's why I jungle tape mags for my AKs bunch. That looks cool. Looking cool is like 3/10 of it. 3/5 of it.
Dusky, or sorry,
3/4 of it.
I did it again. Dr. Scary Guy says urban ERT slings. Yes. So I will be getting, I know what you're talking about, the Stargate like vest type P90 single point sling. I will be getting that for the LARP, but for normal use, it's going to have just a normal 2-point sling on it because I think that's actually more valuable. Also, I don't know if it's Urban ERT or another company, but one of them that makes the vest type P90 sling also gives you a connector that you can put onto your belt or onto Molly that clips into the front of the gun. So you can like quick buckle it. And as it's hanging on your chest, it won't move around and swing like on a single point sling as you clip it in, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's neat.
Yeah, more work to come, more updates to follow on the party's PS90, but
I
for
look
now,
forward to taking it out. Well, going to you at the range and you having it out. I shouldn't say looking forward to me taking it out, obviously.
da.
I
Yes.
can actually say the P90 has never really been a big railgun of mine.
Mm,
It's like, yeah, that's interesting and it's cool, but it's not. It never like stuck itself in my brain.
mm. Well, some of us have good taste, and then there's you.
Who has the best taste?
Mm,
Speaking
you
of good
say so.
taste, I got so last week. I was thinking when I uploaded episodes. Um, last week, I got the final piece of my optic stack in from Photonica. There we go. I almost said Photonics. No, Photonica. No name
Same,
brand.
same.
But so now I have not ACOG stack
Mm.
sitting on that 101. So 3x prism magnifier. It's sitting in basically it's a shroud that goes over the 3x plugs into the back of it, and it's the mount, and it gives you a little sunshade in the front and a RMR mount on top. And so
Can I
far,
just
what?
can I just say, I think one that looks better than an ACOG red dot setup. Although I do want an ACOG on an M16A4 just for the collector reasons, but not because I think it looks good.
Oh,
But two, I think it looks a billion times better than what was that other company you were considering where the mount is going to
flip
bend
cut.
as soon as you lean it against something?
I still want to try that flip off mount just to see.
Dude, those legs on that thing are so thin. They're going to bend immediately.
They might. I do need to probably bump this one more pick rail section back. The curse of having a freaking prism is that the farther back you get it, almost the better. But
Mm.
now with this,
Oh, I don't like optics that close to my eyes. Oh, I'm going to go with this thing so I don't have to have a magnifier with a red dot that close to my eyes. But that's exactly what you have.
pretty much. My other issue with red dot magnifiers is for the magnification feels after like an afterthought,
Mm.
and I don't like it because it's just the dot floating out in space, and I want to have more than the dot floating out in space if I'm magnified at that point. Anyway, no, I mean I also so the 509T sitting on top with no cheek riser is in no chin on gun territory. You're at 3 points of contact. It is sitting. It's not as high as I thought it was. Part of it's just because the stock slopes slightly off.
Mm.
It's sitting at 4.5 inches above bore. On an AR, it's 4.25. So it's like, oh, that's not as tall as I was afraid it was. But I did do an old Sam technique for a cheek riser, which is $3 pipe insulation from Home Depot and some vet wrap, and you just cut a couple thin slices of that on top, duct tape them to the top of the stock, and then wrap the absolute crap out of it with vet tape. So that
That's
doesn't get
a early GWatt mod, by the way. It's not a Sam mod, but it's a good mod.
actually. Then Sam did things without knowing. I know I'm not the only person to do it, but I don't know where I got the inspiration for doing it.
I mean, it's been around probably longer than the GWatt, but when they started taking M14s out of the armory and going, oh, we would like to shoot longer in fucking Afghanistan. Maybe we can do something with these. Yeah, people were putting foam and taping it to the stock for a cheek riser because of mounting an optic to an M14.
Mm-hmm. Well, the good news is I got it slim enough too that the stock will fold right over the top of it. With the old Texas weapon system mount, you can fold the stock. Does the stock need to be folded? Not necessarily. Do you still need to beat the shit out of the Texas weapon system mount before I come anywhere near trusting it? Sure. Am I probably going to go back to a side rail even after I do that? Probably.
But looking cool is at least half the battle, and folding the stock looks cool.
That is true.
Plus, there's practical considerations like transportation and storage and blah, blah, blah. Boring
And for
shit.
transportation, I'll pop the optic off the side and just flop it back on the range. But
I was
anyway,
thinking more like road trip gun, but
so now that's that optic set up. Now I need to go to the range and actually give it a shot. I've shot plenty with this 3x micro prism. I like it well enough. Haven't shot with this specific type of optic stack before, so we'll see.
Dr. Scary Guy says GSL will sell you a hub mount bi-lug flash hider OG style. I'm assuming he's talking about the P90.
Probably is.
CMMG has a P90 style flash hider that has like that slant cut in the front, unlike an A2. And I was thinking about buying one, but it's like 120 or 160. Like, it's stupid expensive for a flash hider. Whereas they also sell a $60 thread adapter, because even with the short barrel, the thread pitch on the P90 is not 1/2x28. So you have to have an adapter up to 1/2x28 to put a suppressor on it. And because I think I'm just going to put a suppressor on this thing and pretty much never take it off, I'm just going to get the 1/2x28 adapter, throw a can on it, and call it a day. Like, it's never going to have the super stubby flash hider on it.
Yeah, direct thread that bitch and just carbon lock it. Problem solved.
Pretty much. And it gets cleaned when the bore gets cleaned, because the bore stake goes through the whole thing. It is extremely fucking easy to take apart. Like, literally make sure it's clear. There's a little button right here. You push little button, you pull receiver off of stock, bolt carrier group, which you have to charge it to get it out. But bolt carrier group is in this. It drops out, and then you just brush stuff off with some solvent, put some lube on it, call it a day, throw it back together. I did forget, though, that you are supposed to charge it before you pull it apart. And
if that gun had made it out in time for, any late 80s action movie, there would have been a scene of a bad guy putting that together.
Yeah.
Just like Die Hard with the sire.
Yes. As it should be. And yeah, Dr. Scary Guy, it's not Stargate authentic yet. Well, I see. You mean with the suppressor and shit. Whatever. Like I said, I'm doing what do I think a modern SG team member LARP would look like. So modern, probably going to have suppressors. Military is going to suppressors for things.
What would Stargate do?
Pretty much. I've actually, I got to the point where I can't stand SG1 anymore, which is when the Ori came in. And I've been watching Atlantis since, because Atlantis was pretty good. I will not go watch Universe because Universe is dog shit.
This is where you really need Mike for this, because I can remember watching Stargate a little bit as a kid. And then my dad, who was a big, he grew up with the original series of Star Trek. Just not getting into it. So at that point, we didn't watch it anymore. Like, I think he was like, oh, sci-fi show. I like Star Trek, because he liked, the original series was his Star Trek. And then he liked The Next Generation. He did not like Deep Space Nine. And then Stargate came along. He's like, oh, we'll watch that too. And I was like, man, I like this. And then that was it.
No, that's fair. I have lots of opinions here. I grew up on both Star Wars and Star Trek, The Next Generation.
Mm-hmm.
And I like almost all the Star Treks. There's a few that I have problem with, but we won't get into that controversy. Ham Radio call sign says Atlantis got good after they fired Dr. Weir. Hot take. I really hate all the things. Oh, well, we're going to have a civilian in charge of things, even though that's how the government is actually structured. I hate that, because I have my own problems with that. I actually didn't hate Dr. Weir because they wrote her character well. She was willing to trust the military leaders to make military decisions and do military things. And she wasn't some god awful fucking tight asshole prude that was just too afraid to make decisions and do things.
All right then. Again,
Hey,
this is where you need Mike for this one because I'm
look,
just like, well, that's cool.
I'm like you, bro. I could fire you right now and I could just have this conversation with myself in the chat all night long.
Oh, probably. I have no doubt. Oh, that's the other thing. AK setup. Wait now for, I mean, I need to get a different laser on this. But one of my goals with this rifle, still need to get the round count higher, obviously, but was to, so my primary AR that I've run around with for years is not a clone correct M4 Block 2, but it's in the neighborhood. M4 Block 2 being, fuck it, I don't need to go down that road, but quad rail. They had SOCOM profile barrels. I believe mine's not a SOCOM barrel, but just a rock solid general purpose AR. That's it's definitely freaking a little GWatt dated, but should rock in around 10.5 pounds fully loaded up or under. And I can't remember exactly what mine was rocking at, a little bit under 10.5 pounds fully loaded. This one, not loaded magazine, like fully loaded is in all the stuff. So with Streamlight, ProTac light on there, I need to get a different IR laser on this one just because it has no illuminator. I want illuminator. And optic now, where I think we're sitting at 9 pounds, 6 ounces.
What brand is that laser again?
Well, this is a Hollow Sun. It's an LS117.
Oh, okay.
It's a perfectly fine laser. It just doesn't have a illuminator. An illuminator. So if you go out on a night with a nice full moon, it's like, I don't need an illuminator. I can use a laser all night long. And then you go out there on a freaking moonless night with cloud cover, and it's like, I can't see shit. I need an illuminator.
Or if you go inside anything with walls and a ceiling.
That too. But I have been night hiking before. One time, I was up in the mountains, so there was no ambient light, even with cloud cover. And the cloud cover was like fucking dark as shit. To the point that when your night vision tubes are struggling to get light, they kind of get little fireflies that kind of pop in front of your vision. Because it's like but that I couldn't see a pack of coyotes that was 30 yards to my left until I hit them with the illuminator. Then I could see them. And I was like, oh shit, get away from me. But no, it needs an illuminator on there, which I'll figure that out at some point. For now, the weight is more or less on. So
ham radio call sign. I don't disagree, but this was back before that was the Netflix cool thing to do.
What, strong independent women as characters?
Yeah. And her being in charge, and you're the military people, but I'm in charge of you. So,
you know what fucking character? Really
I didn't
jumped
see
the
it.
shark finally on that.
All of them.
That fucking one from that second Star Wars movie, purple hair. I'm an admiral, bitch.
I
don't remember the name.
Sorry, the second Star Wars movie was Episode 5.
About the new ones that came out.
Oh, those don't count.
They don't, but I'm saying that was where I was like, because I don't have Netflix. I don't watch any of the new shows really, but I was like, okay, I like Star Wars. Let's go watch this movie. And I left that movie going, all right, I'm never watching Star Wars again.
Same. So episode 7 came out and I was like, okay, well, there's already post episode 6 book canon that Disney could have taken and turned it into movies. And that's exactly what they should have. It was right there in front of them, but they said, no, we're going to do our own thing. Episode 7 came out. And I was like, oh, this feels a lot like episode 4, but it's been a couple of decades. They didn't alienate the original fan base. They might be getting a new fan base in. It's a win-win. So I'll give episode 7 a pass. And then episode 8 came out. I made a YouTube video on Country Boy Guns about how Disney ruined Star Wars. I watched episode 8 and I wanted to self-delete. It was that bad. It was fucking awful.
It was a shitty movie.
All they had to, and even if you order the books now, like on Amazon, I was ordering a bunch of the old Star Wars books that came out before Disney ever bought Lucasfilm. They have a little banner on them now that says Legends. And Disney claims that the books that predated Disney's acquisition of Lucasfilm are a side quest and are not actual canon anymore, and that instead Disney's interpretation of the Star Wars universe is canon. And I call complete fucking bullshit, because everything Disney has done with Star Wars, with the exception of Rogue One, is complete and utter dog shit. The Mandalorian had some good moments, but
up until you realize each Mandalorian episode is just a Western movie ripped off.
Well, Star Wars is not sci-fi. It's a space Western.
No, it totally is. But
which is why Rogue One was so good, because Rogue One was a military movie. It was like Black Hawk Down. Yeah. It wasn't supposed to be a space Western, and they made it a good military movie in space. Anyway. You're really touching all the tisms I have right now.
I've noticed.
Guess we need the content since we didn't actually have a topic for tonight.
Oh, we talk about pop culture. We should be talking about the only movie worth watching. Red Dawn. 1984.
Okay. I wouldn't say it's the only. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's the only movie worth watching, but it's a damn fucking good movie. I made Mrs. Commissar watch it, and she was like, "Why did I just have to watch that?" And I just said, "Because you're uncultured, and the fact that you just asked that question is why."
I had my wife watch that movie, and I'm pretty sure she was like, "Yeah, that's fine."
Yeah.
But it's better than what I had her. It's better than what I had her watch, The Hunt for Red October, and she didn't know what the word defector meant.
Oh God!
Which she has. My wife wears hearing aids, so there's a few words out there that's like, wait, you've never heard or don't know that word, because she's heard it before, but she didn't understand it, so it just kind of slipped on the radar. But she watched the entirety of The Hunt for Red October in an extreme state of suspense. Not because of the plot of the movie, but because she didn't know what the Russian admiral is going to do with the nukes up until the very end. Like, oh, all right then.
Yeah,
it was a good time.
I have not. So certain movies, V for Vendetta. So I have a few traditions throughout the year. On Independence Day, 4th of July, I reread the Declaration of Independence every year. I watch The Patriot every year. On November 5th, I watch V for Vendetta every year. These are traditions. And pre-2020 Summer of Love, I had Mrs. Commissar sit down and enjoy watching V for Vendetta with me and try to expose her to these ideas. And she was like, "That was a stupid movie. I didn't like that. That was dumb. Why did you make me watch that?" The very next year, or during the Summer of Love, during 2020, mostly peaceful protests, that November, we sat down and watched it again, and she was like, "Oh, I fucking get it now." And I was like, "How? Duh. Like, water's wet, apparently."
Well, you got to figure these things out sometimes.
Some people.
Speaking of pop culture, so Commando Store, who made the watch, and I did not realize this was happening until like the day before, and it wasn't in the budget. Otherwise, I'd have been all over this. They like to the Commando store makes a lot of stuff that's reproduction, or it's a little LARP-tastic sometimes. You played Modern Warfare 2 back in the day?
Yes. It's been a
The
while though.
the red, like the red urban camo that all the Soviet paratroopers are wearing.
Yeah, which looks retarded as shit.
Oh, I mean, yes, as an actual camouflage pattern, agreed, pretty retarded. But for nostalgia's sake,
I mean, you're
fucking
talking
cool.
to a guy that wants to do a modern SG team interpretation LARP. So you get carte blanche for first kind of cool.
Anyway, they released a Gorka, which if you don't know what a Gorka is, it is it has its origins back in the Soviet-Afghan War, but essentially it's outerwear. It's like mountain outerwear. It's a very tightly woven canvas. It's not waterproof. It's water resistant. I think they're fucking sweet.
Just like Soviet body armor isn't bulletproof, it's bullet resistant on paper.
Depends on which body armor and what year we're talking about, and what factory, and who's exactly corrupted by that factory,
and what gun you're getting shot at with.
That is true. Anyway, they released their own version of the Gorka suit with that camo pattern, and again, it's not a practical camo pattern whatsoever. It's red, gray, and black, but like fucking Modern Warfare 2, and not the new ones. We're talking what, 2008, 2009, somewhere in there. That's core video game memory for Sam. And so somebody in helmet covers, they came up with the helmet covers in that same pattern. I was just like, oh, if I had, they're not cheap. If I had $300 in my budget,
if I remember right, you could get your gun in that camo if you got enough achievements with it.
You can get your gun in any camo in that game.
Yeah.
Which is really cool until they started switching to fucking microtransactions, and it became gay.
Yeah, that is gay. It does have that drip. And I will agree with you that for a LARP setup, everything is on the table, except I don't want to see you reenacting what a break-in at 3:00 in the morning in your house would look like with you naked on the range. Don't need that LARP. But even if it's a shitty camo, okay, cool. If you wanted to reenact what the newer Red Dawn with Liam Hemsworth or whatever should look like, if you wanted to make that cool.
I mean, the fact that they were wearing Chinese camo and then went in after the fact and digitally removed all of the Chinese emblems and flags and replaced them with North Koreans. Anyway, I pulled up a better picture, but for our live viewers,
I don't hate that.
I mean, it's not a practical thing at all.
No.
I mean, I have a genuine, I believe the manufacturer in Russia would be SSO, Gorka. It's a Gorka Generation 3, so it's not the Anoric one with the pouch in the top, and for it's pouring its ass off, but for just inclement weather going through fall and spring, it's like, oh, this is actually pretty damn decent. But for total LARP, oh yeah, I'd LARP the shit out of this at the range. Just because it's like core.
Oh, memory. You'd wear that to freaking Walmart.
Oh, I totally would wear it to Walmart too. You're not wrong. Made in Uzbekistan. Well, that get you close.
Hey, it's a stan. It's fine.
It's a stand, but they've got here would be the problem. So one of the issues with the Commando store, I like all the crap they make. You're gonna have to sit here and watch while I try and find it. Their restocks can take a long time, like it did on the watch that I'm wearing. But you know the camo pattern in Red. Speaking of Red Dawn, you know the camo pattern in Red Dawn that the Soviet they make one in that. I might actually buy one of these.
That would be.
And I'm pretty sure, so the camo pattern it was supposed to be based off of is actually this one, the KLMK, which is basically a 2-color green, olive drab green, and then like a gray kind of patches throughout it.
Mm.
But for the movie, I think they just were going off reference photos and they came up with something fucking cooler.
That does look cooler.
Mm-hmm. It wouldn't work for this winter because we haven't had any snow, but
We got rain today.
oh,
Oh,
yes.
that was another thing I forgot to talk about, but I'll get to that. I'm not going to interrupt you.
Anyway, I didn't need to be interrupted. I just saw that
Ooh, Klecker's here.
over the
Hi,
weekend,
Klecker.
and it was about the coolest thing I had seen in a long time. Oh, Klecker is back on the M81 train, sir. I never left.
Yeah. Now, if you left God's plaid,
You were forsaken.
I love you, Klecker, but you just lost a respect point.
Mm-hmm.
I also rattle canned some ACU and ABU surplus gear that I had. I needed to buy more rattle can before I could do those things. So I did that.
We're gonna feel real stupid when ACU camo is fucking becomes rare and expensive.
No, we won't, because one,
I will.
that was the peak of GWatt. That's the Mosin Nagant or the
But they said Moe's and Nagants would never be rare, and now look.
okay. Let me rephrase. That is the Spanish copy of the Baby Browning 25 ACP.
Oh, now you're just reaching.
There was so much of that shit made, and it sucks so bad. Like ABU will, for those who don't know, ACU was the digital stupid pattern the Army adopted during the GWatt, and ABU, Airman Battle Uniform, was the Air Force's response to that, because everybody in the military has to have a different uniform pattern. So it was like Vietnam Tiger Stripe, but it was the same colors and it was digitized as ACU. So it also looked like absolute dog shit, and it was useless for fucking everything, just like ACU was.
I mean, they got halfway there. They got halfway to being real cool with the tiger stripe, and then they fumbled it.
Like, all they had to do was just go to Vietnam Tiger Stripe, and it would have been cool.
I mean, what is fucking cool is, I mean, so Vietnam Tiger Stripe, it's too dark for, I mean, I have a pair of pants in it, but like the big black splotches, probably great for a jungle. I don't live in a jungle. Desert Tiger Stripe is.
Yes. See, and they could have done that. They could have done that.
That one does funny things to me.
They did 50 Shades of Grey before the movie came out, and it was less exhilarating by far. And I've watched that movie, and it's not exhilarating at all. It's just obnoxious, but whatever.
I mean, did you get a little tingle when you watched that movie at least?
I got a tingle of anger because I know how that shit's actually supposed to work, but we won't go into that.
Please no. Please no. I will happily let you drag me through many media, but not that one.
I just made youngest lose his words.
That's as bad as when my brother was reading freaking Twilight on the drive back home from his graduation in college. I was like, "Your girlfriend make you read that?" And he told me to shut the fuck up. So I was like, "Yep, she did."
Yeah, that's actually worse. You do okay, so you earn your point back, Klecker, for liking World War II frog camo, but that was an easy layup because anything World War II is based.
Yeah, except for that frog camo has entered into like hype beast mode, where a lot of companies.
You mean like Woodland?
Except for Woodland was never rare. One of the problems I have is that now people are out there on the hunt for like any kind of, they did fucking Grand Thumb did it with Splitter Tarn, or am I thinking of the East German one? But he did it with the one of the German World War II camos that was not super relevant, and the next thing you know, everybody had to have that, and then yeah. So frog camo is kind of entering that kind of land for me, because now suddenly Beretta has a shotgun in frog camo and people have chest rigs in frog camo. I'm just like, I'm a curmudgeon. I get it.
Dusky Tiger Stripe is king until apparently the Air Force gets a hold of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And actually, I would still say Woodland is better than Tiger Stripe. But
well, if you wanted a woodland Gorka, Krushiki Company had one for a little while. Krushiki. Crushiki. They're another cool little, like, one of those random surplus companies. Occasionally they churn out some Russian camo from like the 90s. But it's thin on the ground and it's always bought up by the time I see the announcements for it. It's really annoying.
Yeah, I would rather actually stick to issued M81 God's Plaid. I have a field jacket in God's Plaid that I've had fucking 2 decades now, and it's fucking fantastic. And I swear to God, you better be freezing before you put that thing on, because if you put it on and do anything other than sit still against a tree or in a tree stand waiting for deer to come to you, you are going to be sweating your ass off wearing it. It's fantastic. I love that thing.
I've got one sitting upstairs too. I also have the DCU jacket I'm sitting upstairs.
Ooh, that's sexy. I do want some DCU in my life. So when my dad deployed, this is back in the Woodland days where they got issued. So you had to maintain a set of M81, God's Plaid, whatever, Woodland, and you had to maintain a set of DCU of everything, because the military realized, oh, hey, there are different environments we might be sending people into. So maybe we want different clothing that would work well between environment A and environment B. Like the Marines still fucking do. But the rest of the branches are like, nope, multicam takes care of everything. It's all good. Another soapbox. But anyway, my dad had DCUs, and he actually had a DCU flak jacket that he got issued when he was deployed, but it was a newer type. So the front of the vest actually overlapped, so you could put a SAPI plate or whatever the version of a SAPI plate was in it back in the day. It didn't just zip and button in the center. Like it completely overlapped. And that was cool as shit. He also gave me one of his original first aid kits that he got issued, which just had like band-aids and a cravat and a pressure bandage in it. Like, they didn't do tourniquets back then. They didn't do chest seals. Like,
nope.
You had to have a fucking medical degree to use those things back then. It's fucking cool.
Fucking crucial. Yeah. I like DCU if we're going down the camo train.
Yeah. And weirdly, so the blouses for DCU, because I remember him commenting about this, he called them Elvis flaps on the collar, because the actual like corners of the collar where you would like put your rank or whatever were so much bigger and longer, because in sandstorms you could flip it up and fold it around your neck to protect you a little bit more from the sandstorm. But of course, in the military, they're not going to let you do that, because now you're wearing the uniform improperly. So you're not using the thing the way it's designed, because it doesn't look the way it's supposed to look when you're not going out for like a formation to do a uniform inspection. You're trying to keep your neck from getting cut up by a shit ton of sand.
You're just supposed to sacrifice your body. Don't worry about it.
Oh, absolutely. It's government property.
My favorite desert camo is still probably desert DPM, though.
Chalky chip? Oh, I like chocolate chip.
I don't like chocolate chip.
I do.
Mostly
DPM, because of Storm and Norman.
I have a smock in desert DPM. It's 2 colors. I like it. I like those smocks. I actually have 2 of those smocks. One of them I dyed black. It's kind of weird looking, but
I do like the oversized buttons that the Brits and
Oh,
Aussies
those
and
fucking Canadian
Canadians,
style buttons.
those gigantic. Yeah,
Oh,
I
the
don't hate
best.
that at all.
And for having
Y-
to sew one back on it because it's not freaking looped through a thread. It's just the little strap through the button. So if
Yeah,
the strap breaks, you just loop it back through and
yeah. And if you got gloves on, they're easy to button and unbutton.
same type of buttons the Russians borrowed for borrowed. They were making these back in the 80s, so I'm not sure who came up with the button first, but used for the Gorka suits.
Indubitably.
Well, I think that'll about do it.
Yeah.
It's been an hour and 5 minutes. We've held down the fort by ourselves. It's time to go home and watch the space shuttle landing. Hopefully, it'll go better than the last space shuttle landing I watched.
Oh, I remember that too. God, you're bringing up a core memory. God damn it. You
Not a
can't do
core
this
memory,
shit at the end of an episode.
not a core memory for me, but I definitely remember it.
I was at a wrestling tournament when Columbia happened. I
I don't remember where
remember
I was. I just
I
remember it.
wrestled and then I walked out into the lobby and I looked up, back when the tube TVs happened, like the
Yeah.
TV was just it was just posted up in the corner and they had the news on. And I just walked out and looked up. I had just gotten finished with a wrestling match and I was like, oh shit, the shuttle just exploded. Fuck. All right, well, I have another wrestling match soon, but goddamn, that's gonna impact my performance. Not that I was ever good at wrestling.
Well, on that bright note,
Oh,
I don't know how to tune that one up. So
god damn. Anyway,
leave us a
close us
review.
out before we go
We
even
like
worse.
reviews. Reviews are great. Reviews will help us take over the gun podcast space so that we can actually stop talking about guns and start talking about Stargate and Star Trek, which is what we're all really here for anyway. I mean, yes, you all like guns, but based on what's the most popular YouTube channels, you all like movies more. So,
Tisms abound.
tisms abound. There was something you were going to say. Oh, you wanted to encourage people to learn how to sew because if you don't know how to sew,
Yes.
suck.
So I did mention earlier that I got a cot from Surplus Store as part of my advancing the party's interests, and it has a seam that is ripping, and I have to resew it. And if anybody ever tells you that sewing is unmanly or stupid as a skill, tell them to go play in traffic on the nearest interstate because sewing is absolutely a valuable skill. Like it is a life-saving skill in some
You can't
cases.
if you can't fix your own equipment in the field, you're fucking useless.
It ain't got to be pretty. It's just got to
Nope.
work.
Just got to keep shit from falling out of your backpack when you rip the bottom open of it open on a rock. And duct tape can't fix fucking everything.
Very manly skill. Back before the military used Velcro for all of their patches, they used thread and needle.
I don't know if they're still available. I think I've got 4 of them floating around. You could buy German Bundeswehr surplus sewing kits for like $4 a piece.
You can still get cheap ones on Amazon. I've got a couple. I've got a OCP or a multicam one.
Based. All right, well that'll do it. Before we start talking about throwing needles in people's eyes and how that related and how how the act of sewing actually caused the Challenger disaster next. Did you know a sewing needle is what caused JFK to be killed?
Hey guys, really appreciate y'all watching and or listening.
Oh,
y'all take it easy.
We love you. You're our favorite people. We've never met you, but we're sure you're really nice.
We love you, but just not enough because that's too much.
We love you, and it's not platonically. Good night.